What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the Collective Clips where you already know. Tas, 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 tas. We get it in, but before we get it in, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Ding. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun continuously kicks, right? And I appreciate all your support. I'm very humbled by it, man. We've been doing this for a minute now, right? So I've been doing these supers for a while, and I think they got a little stale. I think people are not appreciating the fact of what I'm doing here, right? The comedy's fun, the comedy's cool, man, and I'm going to continue to do the Super Norteño, Super Woods. Don't trip. Those of you that are big supporters of that content, you're going to continue to get it. But I wanted to introduce new supers, man, and a super series that I'm going to be doing quite extensively. Like there's going to be a lot of videos, man, and they're called Super Gangs. You know, a lot of people ask me questions about different gangs that I'm aware of. Now, I'm not aware of every single different gang that's ever created in the world, man, because I didn't function around them. I could only talk about things that I functioned around or people I functioned with or were a part of or associated with on that level, right? I'm not going to get into the politics of their group or their gang. We're going to be talking about bikers. We're going to be talking about woods, brother. We're going to be talking about norteños, south side or sureños. There's a difference there. MS. A lot of these different groups and my association or what I seen while willing and dealing with them or around them. So the first super norteño, or excuse me, super gang that I wanted to get into, part one, was Sanjo Norteños. Now, if you're part of Northern California, you understand the city of San Jose is the Mecca. It's the East LA. It's the East LA of Northern California. San Jose has always been well respected. They got a lot of barrios there, a lot of old school barrios that predate North and South, barrios like Vickystown and Horseshoe. And, you know, you got barrios like Palmas and Meadow Fair and Capitol Park and the West Side Mobsteros, you know, motherfucking gangsters, Barrio Mas Locos, East Side Hoods. The list can go on and on and on and on and on. If I haven't mentioned your Barrio Despensa, I know you guys are doing your thing. But, you know, I had the privilege, and I say the privilege of doing time around some real vatos from San Jose. You know, it's the San Jose of then compared to the San Jose of now, vastly different and it's changed. If you see the thumbnail, if you see the picture right here, these were the type of San Jose Norteños I did time with. I was around. When I think about San Jose Norte, these are the type of individuals that function around me and the guys that I functioned with. You know, it's a little bit of a different look now. There's different haircuts, different mentalities, different ways of wiggle. But at the end of the day, the San Jose Norteños I functioned with were pretty treacherous, dangerous, and vicious and violent, right? San Jose Norte, man, they gained their respect through sheer aggression. Like back in the 90s, man, San Jose was a spot. It was popping. There was cruising down Story and King. There was a lot of individuals, man, that had status within their gang. And there was a lot of gang warfare. A lot of red on red was going on back in the days. There was gangs that became independent or tried to become independent, like the West Side Mob. Even to this day, man, that still don't function like the rest of the Norteño barrios do. They kind of always been the mob. They've had that mob mentality, mobsteros. That's just the, you know, this is my personal opinion on how I feel they function or how I feel other groups function. Now, I had an interaction with Norteños with the San Jose Norteños because when I was young, I went to the youth authority for a murder case, right? For those of you that don't know and are new to my channel. And, you know, San Jose was always like whispered about amongst other Norteños, like from the Central Valley or from Tulare County or Modesto, Stockton. You know, we always like homeboys from San Jose would come. And I'm going to be honest with you. Our first impression was they were arrogant. They were arrogant because they had a certain standard or a different way of functioning compared to the rest of us. Kind of like down in LA, vatos from Compton, because Compton is so well known. They're Comptoneros. They have to fucking function. Compton's different. There's more expectations on them. They're expected to be just more gangster than everyone else. And I used to trip like, man, these dudes are arrogant. They come around. They're deep. Every compa you went to, every building you went to, and then even that didn't stop. When I went to prison, they were always the deepest ones on the yard. It was either them or Fresno, and I could see the conflict between them and Fresno, and we're gonna get into that. San Jose was deep, but as I started to gravitate more towards chilling with the homies, they were gamed up, man. They were generational. A lot of them were born into it. Their fathers were part of their barrio. Their grandfathers were part of their barrio. See, we didn't have it like that in Merced. In Merced, we were kind of like the first or the second generation, and that was that. Our gangs were way more newer. And it wasn't that we weren't down or we weren't putting in the same type of work. We just didn't have that old established barrio mentality of, man, they were doing it for their hood, right? We were like, oh, our hood, where we're trying to put ourselves on the map. We're trying to gangbang. We're trying to do this. They already were established. It was all about carrying on that torch. And it's funny to say these things because there's people that are watching this now like, who gives a fuck about carrying on a torch for a gang? But when you're in that lifestyle and you grow up that way, it matters. It definitely matters, right? And so my interaction with San Juan Norteños, I remember, was always good. I never had a bad thing to say about them. I never ran into ones that were suckers. I never ran into dudes that didn't put in their work, you know. But there were some that thought they were better than other people. You know, they played that Bay Area Valley, that F14er. I mean, excuse me, that 14er CXIV or City Vida, Famero. All that shit was going on. That shit was going on. I was a part of that, right? And I chose up to be City Vida. So I functioned with guys like from Oakland, San Jose. There was a few guys from Modesto that functioned with us. San Fran, like the bigger cities. Even though I was from the Central Valley, and I remember got a lot of hate from my homies, like, we're Fameros, homie. We're this is nice. I said, I'm born a Famero, homie. But I liked the way that San Jose and the other groups moved. They were more militant. They were more not downer. They just moved a little bit differently. And some of the friends that I had, most of the friends I had were from San Jose, just to be real with you. I guess because I was from the Central Valley, I understood how the Central Valley wiggled and rolled. But at the same time, I was more intrigued. I felt like the Norteño status and what they did that I was striving for was being done in the city of San Jose and the Bay Area. Okay, San Jose is in the Bay Area. It's considered South Bay of the Bay Area. I know, don't get it mixed up with South Bay and LA. We're talking about South Bay and the Bay Area in Northern California, right? Now, I went to San Juan a while back and went to visit. I got a homeboy out there, got a few homeboys out there, believe it or not, right? That fuck with me. And the homeboy took me on a hood tour. So I went through all these different waters. He was showing me. Now, it wasn't my first time being in San Jose. I used to go to San Jose frequently, man, because I fucked with a lot of homeboys out there back when I was active and all that, right? Never had a reason to go back because I just never did that. So this was my first time being back in San Jose in a minute. And besides just the In-N-Out burger type shit. But we were cruising around and he was showing me the difference of the neighborhoods now compared to then. And I didn't see a lot of gente outside kicking it, a lot of canalismo, a lot of homeboys partying, doing their thing like it used to be. Back in the 90s, you cruise through San Juan, every corner, every block, Norteños, maybe some Southsiders in the cuts, you know. And I'll tell you exactly how it was with no sugarcoating it. The way the Southsiders had it in their little barrios, because they got barrios in San Juan, but the way they had it was they had these homes and they'd party like in the back. Like, not that they were hiding or anything like that, but they just had it set up for security purposes. They weren't trying to be all out there on the streets, but it was different this time around. This time around, I was seeing Southsiders walk around in certain little areas in their neighborhoods. And I've seen a few Northerners, but not like I was used to. And I was like, damn, times have changed. And the homeboy ran me down because he's from there. And he was like, the homies. And when he says the homies, even though he's not functioning like that, we always still say the homies. You know, it just is what it is. He's like, the homies are making music. They're making money. They're getting their bag, bro. They're not out here like gang banging. They'll do what they got to do, but a lot of the shit happens on the internet or behind the scenes, and then motherfuckers get killed, and there's some back and forth, and then that's that for a while. That's how San Jose rolls, you know? And there's been some serious things that have happened, but there's a few voters in particular I wanted to give respect to, you know, since I'm talking about San Juan Norte. The first one is East Side Hoods, okay? And then I'm going to tell you guys a funny story about taking Ricky out to San Juan and him shitting his pants, but that's different. And you guys could ask him when I bring him on. He'll tell you it stunk like that. My car will never be the same again. I just got rid of the car. The stink wouldn't go away. I just crush it. I took that motherfucker to You Pull It, and they said, "Why are you bringing it to You Pull It? You looking for an alternator?" I said, "No, you pull it. You pull the shit out of this motherfucker and get rid of it." But anyways, East Side Hoods was a barrio, a gang, in San Jose that was started in the Youth Authority. See, not a lot of people know that. They don't know the history on that. And when I was there, they were probably the deepest group of vatos from Norteños from San Juan in the YA system. These guys were deep. So the East Side Hoods, they were the deepest group, and they were formed there, right, in the Youth Authority. And man, I remember when I was in Carl Holton, that was the first time I seen just how deep they were. I ran into some in Preston. Nellis, there wasn't too many of them. There was homeboys there from West Side Mob, from Barrio North Side in San Jose, Norte homies, North Side Norte homies, or I think it was, they have so many different neighborhoods, right? But the East Side hoods were deep, and they were the ones that initiated a lot of the conflict with the Fresno Bulldogs. Now, I'm going to tell you the get down. So when the F-14ers, the Fresno Bulldogs, and they'll be getting their own super too. They'll probably be getting their super this week sometime. But so I don't want to speak too much into it, but they were deep. Okay, they were one of the deepest cars. There was always the two deepest cars in the Norteño movement was Sanjo. Salas was there was, well, they'll be getting theirs too. Salas was deep too, but San Jose and Fresno, right? The two deepest. When Fresno defected and chose to go their own way, not drop out. A lot of people say drop out. You could say whatever you say, man. I show the Bulldogs a lot of respect. They didn't drop out because they fought for their independence. They chose to step away and do their own thing, right? And it wasn't like they were pushed out or they were easily let go of. They handled their business, and that's how they fought their way out of a situation they felt was not in their best interest, right? But at that time, this is when the Bulldogs were starting to do their own thing. And it was, the word was going around in the youth authority. They had broken off in prison a year before, and the word was trickling down, right? And the Vatos from San Jose had always had an inner beef, like a beef with Fresno. Because, you know, they were deep. Who was more gangster? Everyone always compared San Jose to Fresno to San Jose. So there was always that little fucking civil warfare going there. But because they were all homeboys, all Norteños at the time, it never escalated. Now the Vatos from San Jose had a reason to push the issue, right? And now the homies would back their play. But they made it a personal issue. And shit, bro, every time that they ran into Bulldogs, there was always conflict. They would be getting off on Bulldogs, the first ones off the bus. And Bulldogs would be getting off on them, right? So the guys from East Side Hoods, they had like they made it mandate that if you wanted to be from the hoods, if you wanted to fucking represent them, then you had to fucking bring them back a Bulldog body. Not necessarily kill them, but you had to get a fucking level A or a level B for smashing them, right? And so there was a lot of conflict, man, between the East Side Hoods. Now, another barrio that was, I always respected them, even though there's a couple that got no love for me, and I don't know why. I never talked bad about them, right? I just told the truth. But it's the West Side Mob, right? The Mobsteros were always the one group that I remember doing time with or being around that were like fighting for their independence away from all the other gangs in San Jose. There was a point in time where they didn't even want to be seen as Norteños. They just wanted to be seen as the mob. They were trying to do their own thing. Now, of course, you couldn't do that in the city of San Jose. Once a Norteño, always a Norteño until you're not, right? But they definitely were one group that consistently let everyone know it was mob before anything, West Side Mob before anything. So they were a barrio that was very, I don't know, they had a lot of conflict within the Norteño movement, especially with a lot of barrios in San Jose. They got their respect, no doubt about it. Mob moves, they move, right? Now, there's two other groups I want to talk about. One is Palmas. Probably the group that I ran into the most from San Jose besides East Side Hoods, because when I was in prison, were Palmas. There was always a lot of OG homies from Palmas. They were always doing a grip of time. There was always a gang of youngsters coming in from Palmas, fresh off the boat, fresh off the bus, because they were being indoctrinated. They were handling their business. It was a trip, right? But Palmas was very well respected. It still is respected in the city of San Jose. They're not making as much noise as they used to back in the days. And I don't think no gang, period, anywhere, not even from San Jose, but from any group, is making as much noise as was happening back in the days. More isolated incidences, but shit's still popping, right? Now, the other group, man, that's where these gentlemen are from right here in the back that you see, is called Metal Fair, right? And everybody knows in the city of San Jose, whether you like them or not, homie, Metal Fair hits different, right? Them vatos are strategic in their shit. They're very well respected. You know, a lot of people, they'll see the Metal Fair vatos coming through and they'll be like, oh, shit, Metal Fair, so it's about to get serious. These guys have always been well respected and well known because of things that they've done in the past, right? And then, of course, there's a lot of other different gangs, man. We can talk about Barrio Horseshoe and Barrio Mas Locos and so many, you know, there's so many characters that play into, you know, the San Jose network or the San Jose movement. But, you know, they don't get enough respect like they should be given respect when it comes to the North. I see a lot of people doing videos, but they never specifically show San Jose, in its entirety. And there are Southsiders from San Juan. We're going to talk about that in the Upstater episode, but I'm just giving everyone their little bit of respect, man. That's why I'm doing the Super Gang series. Now, let me tell you about my primo. So I had a cousin named Jesse, right? And he was working his ass off. He was living in San Jose. And so what happened was my grandmother passed. And when my grandmother passed, he had to go live with his father. And his father never raised him. His father was a paisa. He lived out in Sanjo, right? And so my primo was kind of on the Chirujo side, right? Look, he ended up marrying a man. We'll just say that. But back then he was our primo, until he was our prima. He was our prima, right? And so he was working up there and he owed Ricky money. Well, Ben, I have to go get my money because I'm going to tell you right now, he owes me $20. Can you take me up there, give me $50 in gas and take me up there to get my $20? Make that make sense, right? But no, Ricky was getting lightweight into slinging a little bit of weed once upon a time. And my primo up there liked to smoke, right? So Ricky had fronted him a couple zips, and Ricky was like, he owes me like $400, bro. I want to go get my money. Can you give me a ride up there to San Jose? Now, Ricky had never been to San Jose like that. He had heard of San Jose. Well, I want to go to San Jose. That's like our Washington right there. I heard they don't have a White House. They have a Red House. No, there's a few red houses, but not like you're thinking, right? So I told him, yeah, it's cool. I never seen it as a dangerous situation to go to San Jose. I was a functioning homeboy at the time. It was cool. It was what it was. I knew some dudes out of Sanjo, right? Hadn't seen them in a long time. Hadn't kicked it in a minute. The last time I went to Sanjo was a Cinco de Mayo thing, man. And me and the homeboys got into it with some Southerners, and we got caught up. And I stood a night in the Santa Clara County Jail, the jail, and bailed out, and then fucking ended up beating that case, and I was gone. But anyways, I was like, yeah, I'll take you, right? So what happened was we're going to my cousin's because he's going to pay him some money. So my cousin's giving us the runaround. Like I said, he had moved with his father because my grandmother raised him. He ended up moving with his father, who he didn't really know. His father put him straight out in the fields, put him straight to work. But he was making cash, right? So he was having money. So Ricky's like, well, but I'm going to go ahead and eat that, or I'm going to go over there and bone you. I was like, what? I just said I was going to beat him. No, you said bone him. I will hit him with the bone on top of his head, like the bulldog, like the werewolves, right? So we get over there, and my cousin's giving us the runaround. Oh, I'm over here. Hey, I got to go pay this real fast. I got to pay the light bill. I'll be there. So we're parked in front of his dad's house for a long time. Well, Vatos are cruising. We're on the east side, right? East side of every side is dangerous. Every side. Don't let no one bullshit you and tell you the east side is worse than the west side, then the south side, and the north. Look at Sanjo is Sanjo. There's different Vatos in different areas that move differently, but hey, anyone will get you. That's the truth, right? So we're waiting in front of the fucking pad, and my tío, I call him my tío, but he's a straight paisa. He should get his own episode, right? He comes through, and he's like, ¿Qué quieres? I said, now that he was a mean, his name was Enrique. He was mean motherfucker. Meanest dude I ever met, right? ¿Qué quieres, puto? Right? Nada, aquí nomás, tío, right? Simón! ¿Quieres agua? Yeah, I want some water, right? So it throws a couple waters hard, too, at our chest. We're just, you're a fucking Southside or what, right? And so we're sitting there drinking water, and it's a nice, warm day. And my primo finally pulls up. And when he pulls up, he has a chick with him, a bad chick. So immediately my collar popped on its own, right? I didn't even have to pop it. It popped on its own. And I'm like, and I always knew since we were young when my cousin was playing with Ken and Barbie that he was into some different type shit. But it was like a secret that he told me that no one else knew. But I knew. Like, there is no way he's boning that chick. That chick is probably boning him, right? So I'm immediately in the mix. Like, that's his homegirl, right? So this was all fucking sparkly, fucking DK-ish, right? And I jump off the car, like, what's up, primo? He's talking to Ricky. Oh, my money. Give me my money. He's like, damn, fool, I'm going to give you your money. Calm down. Well, don't try to play me. I ain't a fucking salsa. I ain't gonna fuck. I'll kill you. Right? They're over there arguing for nothing. He's going to pay him, right? You made us wait and your fucking dad throw water at my chest. It hurts. Look at my chest. Look at my chest. I'm like, my chest hurts too. I was thinking about it, right? And so I'm popping at the chick. And she was like, yeah, I'm from Barrio Mas Locos, right? And I go, hey, I was locked up with the homeboy in YA. Puerco, man. He used to kick back with them cats and shit, whatever, right? And she was like, yeah. This is their neighborhood right here. And I was like, oh, for reals? For reals? I said, and she was like, just talking her little shit and gangbang. She was all gangbanged out, but she was fine. I didn't care about that, right? I was like, what's happening? Yeah. Can I see an ID? Because I'm not Ireland, right? What's happening? And I'm just doing my thing. And a car pulls up. It's her old man. Now, mind you, this is my primo's friend. She's got a boyfriend, right? This fool pulled up, and he was like, hey. And she was like, what's up, babe, right? And she said, babe, and I backed up like a crawdad real quick, but then I seen her tits, and I took a step forward, right? And that dude was like, hey, who are you, homie? Where you from? I said, Merced, Norte gang. What's happening? He's like, I'll be right back, bro. All right. So I thought he's going to go get a beer or something, right? Man, 3 carloads of Nortenos pulled up, bats, chains, and Norte gangs, right? And I was like, what? And Ricky said, what, but hey, what's up, Mr. Homies? They slapped the shit out of him. He fell, right? They beat Ricky to a pulp. I went and got my tío real quick just to make sure, because he came out, hey, get it, papas, right? And they fucking dispersed, and I got a couple punches in on the one guy because he was trying to pull his old lady, but then she felt my chorra, and she was like, oh, shit, maybe I should go with him, right? And so there was a big thing, and there was a little fighting going on. They end up jamming, and I was like, we got to get out of here. And Ricky's like, I got to get my money first. I was like, still ain't got your money. He's all fucked up. Anyways, we bend the corner. We leave. My tío's like, get out of here, right? You're bringing drama to my home. As we bend the corner, we went right into the thick of their hood. There's all those fucking garages open, cars. If you should lose me, oh yeah, bumping. And I'm like, oh no, what happened? Man, these motherfuckers surrounded the car, drugged me and Ricky out, and put all kinds of fucking. And I remember they were gonna smack us, like they were gonna kill us. I was like, damn, getting killed by my own people, by my own gente. They sign our people in there, right? And some OG came out, hey, go cut down. Let me see. Oh, they ought to get a 14. Those are homies. We don't do that to homies. No red on red, homie. What's up, though? Where you got you from? I'm from Merced. I'm from Gustine, right? Yeah, I don't know what Gustine is, homie, but the wind gusted and you steamed the fuck out of here, homie. Hey, homies, let's calm down on the homies. Maybe, no, he was trying to get at my old lady. I said, no, your old lady was trying to get at me. She grabbed my chorra. She grabbed your chorra, right? So we're arguing. And I was like, man, he's like, it looks like the little homies dealt with you already. Not dealt with you, but dealt with you. They dealt with you already. So you can, in a way, look at, because I'm a sajonero, a viejo, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a pass. Oh, thank you, right? We get in the car, and I don't know what happened, but as soon as we pull out of there, I'm telling Ricky, man, they were going to kill us. Whoop in the room, they're going to kill us. I said, yeah, bro, you didn't see they were pulling out machetes and guns and shit. The Sajo don't play if I told you. That's why I don't want to come up here and fucking take you guys. Right? And so as we're hitting the corner, I heard, and it was wet. I'm wet. I push around with the Mac and a tech. Right? My cousin shit all over himself because he realized that he got stabbed right here in his butt, right? He was leaking and he thought his asshole was leaking and someone raped him. And so this motherfucker shit all over the place. Just took the car to pick and pull, let him pick and pull it. And that was that, right? Anyways, man, shout out to the city of San Juan. That's a true story. Facts. San Jose, what more can I say other than the Norteño gang? I can sit here and talk about the history and the politics and the gangs and all that. It's not my business. I just want to give them a little bit of respect, man. It's the new supers. If you guys like them, let me know. Hit a 1. If you don't, then we'll just keep it pushing. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, strive. What I truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people. You guys are going to be getting another super today. Facts. They're gone.